friends. Today I am starting with a new design team project for Studio28E, and it is going to be a Christmas journal. So I want to share with you how I've just done a little preparation, and so I want to show you. I've pulled some things together. I'm trying to be organized. Here's some fabric I might work with. I have this book that I think, I took some images out already, but I might take more. I have printed the digital kit on the back side of this Have a Cozy Christmas paper pack. I got this from Michael's last year though. Don't know if this is still in print, but it might be. It's by the Paper Studio. And then these are some images I pulled from this book here. And then I have a Christmas card. And then I have all of the pieces from the kit that I printed out. I went ahead and I cut them so that I didn't, really need to do that on camera because that's a little bit of a snore. So I've cut them out. They are ready to work with. I have this napkin from my friend Lori, and then more cuts from the, ephemera cuts from the kit. And then these are just some pieces from the book that this is great. It says this book belongs to. I think that's perfect. And then, there's some other stuff, images. And last but not least, this is also from the digital kit from Studio28E. And you just fold this and it turns it into like an envelope. And then I have a vintage Christmas card that I got at an estate sale, so I might add that. Now, all that being said, I like to gather my items and I may add to it. I may end up not using what I've gathered, but I might. But at least it's here for me and ready to go. So now I want to show you the pieces that I printed out that are part of the digital kit. So I'm going to open this up. I've already folded these so they're ready for me to get started on my project. But I'm going to just quickly, I won't talk, I will quickly go through these so that you can see the images. Oh, and I want to let you know that when I printed these, I changed the transparency. So just so that you know, they originally are more vibrant. They're still very vibrant, as you can see, but they were more vibrant when before I printed them, because I changed it's either the transparency or the opacity. It's the opacity. So I lightened that up because I really wanted it to have a little bit more of a vintage feel, and so it just lends itself to look maybe a little older, like maybe the sun bleached out the papers or something like that. And real quick, you can see that I printed them out on this scrapbook paper. That's all scrapbook. This is all kit. So on to the next, I'll show you these images. And all of them, I changed the opacity, we're gonna call it. So the point of me sharing that with you is that if you were to get the digital kit, you could, leave it original, or you can change it almost to basically any shade that you would like to. I put this napkin in here because I actually want to use it on this page. This originally, just so you know, was red. All these houses and trees were red, and I wanted it to be gray, so I changed it to a black and white, and then I lightened it up. So just so that you know, as part of the kit, first of all, a digital kit, you have the freedom to change things up quite a bit, but just know that this could come in red for you. It does come in red, and you could have this in red if you wanted. The first thing I'd like to do is I would like to decoupage this image over this, and I'm hoping it'll be translucent and that we will be able to to see through to the paper. I'm sure that most of you have decoupage. Probably do not need a lesson in that, but the one thing I will tell you is to make sure if you have a 3-ply napkin that you get all of the layers off. You guys, I am sorry, there's a little bit of a shadow here. My workspace is a little bit different today. Also, if you hear a little humming, I apologize for that. You know, most of you know I live in Florida, and it is relentlessly hot. It's excruciating lately. 97, 94 degrees is awful, like 90% humidity. I can hardly stand it. At any rate, I have a fan going, so that is what the humming is. So one thing I want to tell you about decoupaging is, or Mod Podging, whatever, is first of all, don't be afraid of it. But secondly, you know, put it on thin. If you put it on thin, you won't have, you know, a lot of people apparently have problems with it. But if you work with it thin, you won't. And it won't wrinkle your papers as much. And, you know, I mean, it's gonna bend them a little bit, but you can always set them, oops, you can always set them, you know, under something once they're dry. So, just not a big deal. So always put a very, very thin coat underneath, and I'll, you know, check my edges, make sure I got my edges. And then I put a thin coat over top as well. And that way it's sealed on there, but again, I work with it very thin. And that way I don't have problems with stickiness. I hear a lot of people complaining about stickiness, but again, if you work with it real thin, you should be okay. And then the wrinkling of the paper, but again, if you work with it thin, you will be okay. As mentioned, I got the napkins from Lori at Enchanted Dream 71, and I'm going to use them in this journal. So I think it's going to add a nice look to this page, and I think I'll put it down here. I try to work with the decoupage quickly because I do work with it so thin. It dries really fast. And sometimes I'll just put it on section by section, like you can see I need to add right here, and that's fine. Sometimes if I just do it an inch by inch, it gives me a little bit more control over the situation, which is probably a good thing. You can see that I work with it so thin that actually, before I laid the napkin down, this corner had dried. But that's okay, I just go stuff some under there. And again, super, super thin coat on top. You don't need to get it wet. We're just protecting it. That's really all we're doing. And also, I like to work from the center out, because that way if there's air bubbles, it might push them out. I'm gonna set this aside so it can dry. I'll be very interested to see how translucent this ends up being on here. That could be pretty cool. Well, let's find out. It is transparent, and I think it looks pretty cool on here. I wasn't sure how it would be with the black background. It looks nice on the green. I like that. I'm gonna put this, I think, right here, kind of in the upper center. Once I'm done decoupaging all of the Santas onto the pages that I would like them on, I'm going to go ahead and add some papers and some of those Christmas cards, just kind of decide where I'd like them to be in the signatures. Let's flip through our signatures and see if we can find a spot where this would look nice. It could look pretty neat covering this second signature, so that's an option. looks pretty neat here too. You know what? We might do it there. Yeah, okay. So we have found the place that we want our card. So that's nice. So when you flip this open, this will be blank, but then when we turn the pages, it'll have the handwritten note from the person. So that's nice. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Now we're going to do a little bit of cleanup on these book pages that I pulled out. Well, let's take a look at them. On this side we have Joy in the Morning, and then we have a beautiful saying, and of course a little train. And then on this side there are some pictures that are nice. So I guess I have to decide which is more valuable. So if we look here, we've got 3 different songs. So I think I could get more out of this page than this one. So I think that's what we'll do, is we'll cut up this page. The first thing we'll do is just clean up this edge here. Okay, so I took one of the pages from the book and I cut out. This is basically what I harvested from it, and I think that looks great. Oh, and one more, this one too. And I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, let's work with that. So inside, this is basically, I'm calling this our first signature. So inside of this one, in the center spread is nice and black, and I feel like this will make a terrific pocket. So that's what we're gonna start with. And then I believe what I'm gonna do, since these are beautiful and these are songs, I'm gonna go ahead and turn these into tags, journaling tags, so I will cover the back. So we're gonna do that together. And while we are working on that, I wanted to just say to everybody, thank you for being here, and I hope you're having a great day. I'm excited to be working on my very first Christmas journal ever. And Lori and I, Lori at Enchanted Dream 71, for both of us, this is our first Christmas journal. So we're kind of doing them together. Well, at least we're kicking them off together, so that's pretty fun. When I do a pocket, I like to fold the corner because it will make it easier to get your ephemera in and out of it when the corner is folded. That's why I do it. I find it easier anyway. And I've got my tacky glue here. I feel like I'm starting this a little bit early, but I'm also okay with that because I'm gonna do 2 Christmas journals, and they're going to be very, very different from one another, and I'm pretty excited about that. So this way I'll have time to take my time with both of them and really enjoy the process. I will be listing this in my Etsy shop, just so that you know. I wanted to remind you guys that we'll be doing the #OctoberLove collage collaboration if you'd like to join in. Publish those on October 30th, and make sure you use the hashtag in your title, OctoberLove. And in case you didn't see my video on it, the idea is just to create a collage that represents things that you love about the month of October. I'm excited about it. So that was the first hashtag that I picked that I thought we could have fun working with. The other thing I would like to mention is that, and I'm doing it while it's on my mind because I typically forget, but just so you guys know, if you need any craft items from BB Craft, I'm putting links in my description box that you can click on, and you can get either free shipping, which is worldwide, or right now they're having a holiday sale, so I've been putting that link in there too. So if you ever buy from them, you might as well take advantage of the discount. Now we're going to go ahead and turn these into tags for that spread. I'm going to leave the top plain up here because obviously we'll put a hole in it here with some ribbon, but I'm thinking we could put like a snippet here to decorate it up or something like that. I've got some red and white fabric I will use, and then on top of that I have some coffee dyed piece of a doily that I'm going to place on there. And then I want one more item. And I was thinking about putting this brown tag on there, but it kind of blended too much with the doily, so I've chosen to put this cute little candy cane on it. I have used my grommet maker and put some eyelet holes in there, and now I am cutting some ribbon to go through that, and then these tags will be complete. So today we got our napkins decoupaged in. We finished these 3 tags. We are putting them in one of the pockets that are in the journal, which we actually created today. So we completed this one page here, and I think it looks great, and it's a wonderful combination of old and new. Thanks for watching. See you soon.